Video by our president, Dr. Mohammed Sulu. So it's talking about the BSU and the impact of BSU in our university. So let's watch the video.
President of the University of Gaza, Assalamu alaikum. My greetings to all the athletes and experts of BSU Technical Overseas, our meeting at Zanzibar, and Dr. Mohammed Sulu, the President of the University of Gaza, our honored member of BSU team at the University of Gaza. BSU has been a transformational journey for us at the University of Gaza. We moved from being a teaching university to being a university that contributes to society, the university that serves national sciences for research and community service. During BSU, it helped us build a system and also build our human capacity, as well as with BSU, University of Gaza has aligned its research and teaching to national priorities for Somalia. Most importantly, University of Gaza has become a center that the partners, the government, and the stakeholders can rely on, not only for graduating students, but also for using evidence-based research that helps doctors and other stakeholders take decisions, as well as the communities. With BSU, University of Gaza has made tremendous choice and improvements. Most important of these improvements was the human capital, development. We have now more PhD students who are actively engaging in research and community service. BSU assisted us building a system of the University of Gaza. We have provided a team institutional courses that supports us in University of Gaza governance, as well as administration and management. BSU has also helped us visualize our financial management system. We are now a fully digital financial system created also transparent for our financial systems. BSU has also helped us digitalize our student management system, where now we have a system to manage our finances, as well as our services that we offer to our students. BSU has also helped us in the form of research and groups. Our faculty members are now divided into research groups based on their research interests and their grant application management. These research groups includes maternal health, effective diagnosis, and governance, as well as the other specializations that we are here at the University of Gaza. And at BSU, we are also establishing our Master of Science in Climate Change. We have also hosted and organized the first national conference, where that conference brought together the policymakers, the researchers. There were more than 60 papers that were presented at the conference, and most of these papers that were presented at the conference were later transformed into a policy brief that includes the 5 kinetic areas of the conference. The most important change that BSU has made at the University of Gaza is that it started a culture of research here at the University of Gaza, where research is now part of the academic. University of Gaza student methodology, and also it's contributing to the community. It's also serving social goals for research. So research now has become a culture, not just an isolated activity. BSU has also supported the sustainability of University of Gaza by establishing the core processes and functions of the university. For instance, reforming 18 courses and ensuring transparency and accountability as well as development here at the University of Gaza. The processes and functions here at the University of Gaza are now dependent on systems, not on individuals. With BSU, administrative and governance structures are now fully aligned to our strategic plan 2024-2028. And now, University of Gaza structure is fully matching the current needs of the market and industry, as well as the research and community. With BSU, we are now much more connected to national priorities. For instance, we have evolved a new research model where we started with a several engagement workshop. We invited the ministries, the communities, and partners that have discussed the research priorities and models that were tested. And at the end of the workshop, we have asked the research priorities that University of Gaza should make to solve social problems. Municipal is now seen as a key partner in producing research that supports the policy and supports the decision making. My key stage to partners and supporters of BSU, so we are here at Municipal we are very appreciating the partners that support in continuous partnership and collaboration. We believe that BSU is not just a project, and it is a transformational journey. It's a legacy that will last forever. It's about making Municipal and distribution that in fact becomes relevant to this society and support this policy. Here at Municipal we are very committed in both research, developing education, and ensuring that our research and academic programs are relevant and supporting the national priorities of Somalia. And we look forward in continuing this journey together, and we as well look forward in partnering, making Municipal more impactful and more stronger for the development of Somalia and the region in general. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we're going to have one more video for the.
That will be later.
Oh, that will be later. Okay. So the next video is going to be the videos for the PhD students. So maybe after the case study.
Yes, we'll make sure to do it later. But now we want to get started on the case clinic, and also because we have the SUSA team and the CISA ready. So today we welcome CISA and the SUSA team. Let's.
Hello, it's my pleasure to present a case clinic in relation to SUSA team. Will you open the next page, please? So, our case clinic is live from the BSU4, and looking at that title reminded me of the first BSU meeting 15 years ago. We were a group of people from different countries, different systems, different backgrounds, and different experts. And at times we were colleagues. We were not yet connected. But through BSU, we have done a lot together. We have not only strengthened our institution, but transformed from colleagues into family. Together, we have made incredible research and education vessels. We have published impactful research articles, submitted successful grant applications, trained dedicated staff abroad, and created a curriculum that will serve our community for years to come. I don't think I have to mention that because we have been repeating with curriculums. Now we are moving to a PhD curriculum, the first PhD science curriculum at SUSA. For us, these are not just project milestones. These are zero hope. By funding BSU, the leader did more than support the project. We gave a life to a living partnership between Zanzibar, Uganda, Somalia, and Denmark. Now, what is the challenge? As now we are standing here, and the BSU ends, we are preparing to move from a world of must to do to a world of want to do. For years, we have built our research and education muscles and a healthy pressure of to honor this investment made in our partnership for 15 years, we are seeking a sustainable strategies to keep our muscle flexed and our connection alive. So we are here to request you really to help us. How can we transition from a culture of compliance where we do muscle circles where we need to report to donor to a culture of commitment where we become accountable to each other as we navigate life after BSU4. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Susan. So in a sense, this is really talking to all the consolidation talks that we've been had the last couple of days. And it's also a very broad challenge. There's a lot of questions and angles to approach this from. And I don't know if we could just, you said that we're losing what is, or we could be losing what's the most important to us. Could you just
I don't think that we are finding ways. We want this to continue forever for us. So being told that you are exist, this is the nexus for us is like we have the fear that this model is going to continue. And that's why we are brought it here so that we can help us make it continue forever.
Okay, and just to clarify, is it mostly the partnership within your BSU project, or is it across the program as well? Just if we need to focus a little bit of one of those.
Women, I mean, BSU project, because I talk about the capacity.
Coordinating partnership of university, or is it like a broad network?
Yeah, SUSA, University of Copenhagen in particular, and of course our good friends, and especially with the XCPH. But with the whole partners that we're now, SUSA, UCPH, Guru, and Agis.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, so this is actually something that's of relevance to everyone. Let's start the first round. Please tell me more about, to get some more clarifying questions, to get this more concrete as well, in order to offer advice in the end.
Please tell us more about what you see as the main challenge in making this transition. You formulate here that something about external pressure and turning that into kind of an internal commitment. But maybe can you develop more what you think is the main challenge in that?
Yeah, as I said earlier, through BSU we are doing a lot of things. One of the milestones is joint multiplication. So we research, we are scared that when this BSU4, when we exit BSU4, that momentum will get lost. That is one thing. But another thing, now we are a team of researchers connecting North and South, where we do joint publication with joint supervision, joint writing, and we think we're going also to lose momentum of that. This is the thing that makes us a little bit scared that we are going to lose that momentum. So we are in discussion, and this we will be happy, glad if the participant here will tell us how can we build that momentum so that the writing continues, that the coordination continues. We have quarterly meeting after every time where we remind ourselves, we motivate ourselves together, and that we think that meeting will no longer exist when the BSU4 exists, so that this is kind of thing that we fear we're going to lose momentum on.
So that it's many activities, but it's the joint collaboration in doing them.
Please tell us more about whether this culture of commitment is the first one. is something that you have never had, or is something that you lost after BSU started and you would like to find again? So that culture of commitment, is it something that you have never had, or something that you have lost and that you would like to rebuild?
Yeah, I think Suga started before we started doing many things together, but I can see that this partnership is unique. You know, because the way we live in partnership, especially with our ECPH partners who have been together for 10 years, it's just like a family. It's very easy to me to give a call to Karen and say, Karen, I am struggling with this, and help me anytime, because we have shared our even a WhatsApp group for the family and we so that freedom, you know, because sometimes I like the mention, when I compare the money, it's like
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I hope I can understand, misunderstand other ways, scenarios where collaboration could continue, because to my best knowledge, there are several projects that sort of secure collaboration many years ahead from now.
So, yes, so please tell about how this will continue in the other projects. Yeah. And just a practical reminder of yesterday we found the perfect way to hold the microphone, which is like this, I hope.
you ask if how can we say, yeah, through this collaboration we have learned many lessons. First, the trust that we need for quite a long time. So this is one of the key factors that made us be a family and could make us achieve what we should at that particular day. But then when we started BSU1, it was mistaken and it was not driven. But then
the trust gonna become a further driven, and the way our partners, the mentor and mentee relationship was very instrumental in doing what we're doing. So we are going to use this principle in the assumption that if you build trust, if you are all, you are not differentiated between senior and junior, you sit in the same table with the same vision, same understanding, you could do anything and you could achieve whatever you plan to do.
I think we had
Thank you. Please, will you mind if you share with us, you told that after BSU, your fear is that erosion of the capacity. What does that mean is that people who have been capacitated are leaving from you? Or, I mean, what is the main erosion of those capacity? What does that mean?
So what the main erosion is, if it's the people who could fall apart from the partnership, or what it is?
Yeah, I talk about the erosion of habits and of course, and routines. What I said earlier, we do have quarterly meetings so that with the standard agenda, so this has become a norm to us. So that is one of the things that move us forward. So if we miss that, but before we were like delaying some of the stuff, when I say we have to structure ourselves, this partnership that we have this quarterly meeting and we standard agenda so that everybody can express progress or whatever. If you have a problem, you discuss together and get a solution to that particular thing. But another thing is routine mentorship check-ins. where if you go and you see one work package is not to the standard, then they check and say, what is happening there? These are what's wrong with it. Is there something that we can help? These are the things that we bid together, and I think they are very important in our partnership. This is just to name the few.
Okay, thank you. There was... Okay, we'll start here.
Yeah. Could you please explain a little bit about the life before BSU, and what are the things that BSU has helped you throughout the years to develop, and that you are actually afraid of or fear that you will lose after BSU? Yeah.
Because we are different, we are a team, and when we showcase, you could see we congratulated some of the senior staff. Before BSU, there were most of them junior. I was a TA, tutorial assistant, just finished my BSc, and then I was funded to go for my master degree by a BSU project at Malaysia, and now I'm finalizing my PhD. So before that, I don't think that I could sit and talk like this. You know, it made me become more, I was really shy before that because I had just been a teacher from a secondary school. I was more like dealing with students, secondary school students. When I come and see Henrik and Karin, they were professors, and I was just a BSc. It was very difficult for me to speak, and I was quiet, just like a timid child at that particular time. So that is just me, but Dr. Fatma had a master, and now she's our senior, and she had a number of joint application and grants that she's working on now. When it can be white, the same story, Malim Said Yunus, all of us, there had been a progressive change from the way we speak, from the way we discuss issues, from the way we write. I never publish a paper. Now I have paper published in the reputable journal. These are the products. So this is just me, that I say I can write a book because everybody had a story to tell. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, it's been quite a personal journey for you, Aziza. I know Idrissa wants to, is it adding on to this, or is it a question? Okay, then I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I think I want to, in terms of saying about this, is like, I will read the statement there. We need to honor this investment by ensuring our work matures into a lasting legacy rather than fading away as just another finished grant cycle. There is a fear, and of course is a documented literature that grants and projects, when they are done and everything is done, this is tendency in most of developing countries. So our case challenge is grounded with that theory that we want to be much more prepared. It's not because there has not been a commitment, it's a reflection to see how best we are prepared to honor that investment. And this is the challenge we are asking ourselves, and we think also, we believe that their wisdom around here can get us there. So just I want to clarify on that.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. We'll take the last two questions here, if you still want. Yeah, and then we'll move to the next round.
Oh, thank you. And can you please share more about the culture that you are looking forward to develop after BSU? What 1 or 2 points that you would love to have after BSU4?
So 1 or 2 points on the culture that you would like to have after BSU.
Yeah, now we are in a partnership. And of course, we are looking for more partnership, and we are looking to continue this partnership. But a culture of accountability, that we do things without being pushed, without being obliged to report to someone. This is one of the culture. The culture that we are able to stand on our own feet, be able to coordinate ourselves with our colleague at SUSA, despite whether we have, without being pushed by external sources. This is another culture that we feel also be able to, we have, I don't call it a dream, but in our consolidation plan, we're saying we want now, I think now we can stand on our own and coordinate international conferences. So now we are in a position that we invite people from outside in Susa. You see, this is some of the cultures, but so many things, so many good things that we want to achieve. Become self-imposed, we impose ourselves without being pushed or without that somebody is watching us, okay? In particular, being more accountable on ourselves. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, last one. Could you please help me and the mic?
Thank you so much. So my question is, how do you plan to use the remaining 2 years to prepare for sustainability?
Yeah, I get that it's the case, but maybe you want to address it with some of your reflections as well, because I know you have done reflections and you've done your consolidation planning, so maybe just 1 or 2 points on it.
Now, Susa, we have research teams where we understand each other, who is capable of doing what, okay? So that it's very easy for us when it comes to research, when it comes to writing a grant proposal, it's easier. This is the structure that we have kept in. And another thing is that we are working hand to hand with the university management so that they become part and parcel of what we are doing and they know our capability, what we are capable as, what kind of skill we have, and we are saying it openly that we are capable of doing so and so and forth, and we are ready to help the university. So I think that we make us continue, and now we are having this, sometimes we are invited to different platforms where we speak openly of what we do. For instance, I and Madam Biuba, whenever something comes in relation to solid waste management at SUSA or nationwide, we are very well known. So BSU has made us visible, and we have a plan. Apart from the consolidation plan that we did, because that is why we came with the case, we try to brainstorm how we can make this sustainable, in particular in relation to grant management, because we had one of our activity in the, I think, early January, Caroline was here and he trained us on grant management. Of course, if we want to do most of the thing, we need to have funds. So we are now in a preparation that we make sure that we are able to secure funds so that we can continue of what we started with BSU.
Okay, thank you. We're not taking any more questions in this round because we are over time, so we just need to go to the next round. Please share more about, this reminds me of. And for this round, Aziza, you'll just listen to the related experiences that people have to offer. Who wants to start? Okay. Robert.
I will stand here. This reminds me of the time when I was principal of a vocational institute before joining Guru University. We had a lot of support from GIZ, and time came, they told us, like now DFC is telling us, we are handing you over to yourselves, and they tried their best to prepare us to move on our own. And my director called me to the office and asked me, Principal, GIZ has been supporting us a lot. They are now leaving us. What are we going to do? My response, later.
Yeah, thank you. This reminds me of a meeting we have been having with members of Guru BSU team, where we had to brainstorm in relation to their exact challenges or fears. Now that this support is coming to an end, and we still have 1.5 years or 2 years to go, what can we prioritize to make us more prepared to stand on our own? So we had to look at the list of activities we plan to do, and among those ones, which are the most critical ones that could prepare us better to be able to stand on our own. So that could probably be a similar approach you could take. There are so many other activities that are there at your table. Pick the most critical ones that will prepare you most to be able to stand on your own. Thank you.
It is 2 years, yes. Okay, I'll just hear and then I'll bring it back to you, Charles.
Yeah. There's a very popular saying, which I can't remember, but it's something like, you know, if you want to do something, then just do it. You don't plan to do things, just do it. Something like that. Yeah, that's a Nike advertisement. They used it, made it popular. But yeah, it reminded me about that.
Okay, thank you. A little bit of advice was moving into advice a little bit. Just do it. Okay.
We are still on, this reminds me. I'd forgotten. This reminds me what happened towards the end of BSU1. We were not certain. The Danish Minister of Foreign Affairs had an issue, and Uganda had just passed a constitution against homosexuality, and we were not sure. The only thing that we had to do, I told my team, let's not give up, continue. If need be, we shall buy tickets, present our case to the parliament and people of Denmark. So what am I saying? We persisted, and it is that gave us strength to continue until we finally got the yes, and it was a very semi-dark, not dark, but semi-dark time. When you're in that stage, I could hear the sentiments in the voice of the presenter, and I would almost say, don't cry. This is not the end of the world. Things will improve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. This reminds me also our very long project with SIDA, the Swedish organization about capacity building. When they announced that they will be closing the research program, we were really worried, but we were also not maybe lucky, but fortunate, because at the center we had planned to have also our own PhD program. So we planned 5 to 6 years ahead to have almost a similar program with what the founder was helping us with. So maybe we should, or SUSA should not be very much worried. They need to prepare ahead how to take over and do things on their own.
Thank you. So planning well ahead. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm learning this.
This reminds me of closing of BSU4. There we had partners leaving us, which was KCMC, University of Ghana. And in the end, it was talked a lot about, so how can we let's make networks, WhatsApp groups and so forth, and you need a common ground to do that. And you need sort of opportunities. And then suddenly, out of the blue, came this knowledge innovation program. And instead of starting from scratch, we could say to our friends in KCMC, say, hey, do you want to partner on this? Yes. University of Ghana, yes, they knew us. So we could do that very easily. And though it seems bleak now, opportunities arise. And second of all, please notice also that you have at least four research projects going on at the very top now, which is involving SUSE also. Yeah.
So there are research projects going on forward for many years, actually. Mm.
This reminds me of when Sweden closed all the health aid to Vietnam. My previous colleague was involved in consolidating the learnings from that. And they set aside funds for 4 years to consolidate what they had achieved during 40 years of Swedish aid to the health sector in Vietnam. And my previous colleague was heading that kind of consolidation together with a Vietnamese partner. So they had 4 years to consolidate the whole program to the whole health sector in Vietnam. And they did a lot of kind of canvassing of studies, wrote a lot of reports consolidating what have we learned, what has been done, what have we learned, how can we document this, and how can we make sure that it is institutionalized into the Vietnamese institutions. So that was 4 years for the whole of the health sector of Vietnam. You have 2 years for one university. I think you can consolidate. You can do it.
Thank you. It's good encouragement. Mm. Yeah, any more related experiences to share? Tabu, yes.
Thank you very much, SUSE team, for this very wonderful case. This reminds me of a big consortium project we ran from 2009 to 2016. This was in health, including KCMC, UVRI, ECP, Gulu, Makerere, London School of Tropical Medicine, ISG, and Cambridge. There came a time when they had to close this program. The consortium needed to have new ways of thinking. So exactly like you have put it, that the real tests of our legacy isn't in what we achieve while being watched, but what we continue to do once we are free. The director then said, this is a real test of how we are very innovative and that we can draw on what we have learned to create new spin-offs that retains us as a team to practice beyond this, what we have achieved today. And trust me, in Mulago, most of those graduates are the ones experts, including professors of medicine, are now from that program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before I had the question, but now I want to make an observation. With that program, I saw the partnership in the hand of SUSE, like Uganda, Somaliland, and Denmark. I wanted to say you have also Maseno, University of Rwanda, among your key partners to continue that building together and realize together. And the second observation, you may try to see how this process is gender responsive, because to keep this continuity of that success need all hands to contribute in the community when you are in the outreach. The last suggestion, to make it sustainable, you may think about a consultant's policy in SUSA, which may attract other partners to seek for your capacity and the knowledge, and you generate money and you provide the knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think with this, we are already moving into the next round of advice, which you might try. So let's bring on all the good advice you've been thinking about.
Thank you. Let's continue the story. Now, you might try what I told my director, that let's not be afraid, we shall cross the road when we get there. And I would like to explain it by showing something. Who moved my cheese? Are we there? IT? Who moved my cheese? Yes. In the book of Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer, it talks about 4 characters of people. He forgot it. Now, I just would like to say, change happens. And you need to ask yourself, how are you feeling now? Are you too comfortable with the situation you have now? And the book, Who Moved My Cheese, has always been a lesson for me. And in my management, administration, I try to see who am I? And I love to deal with the 2 characters of Sniff and Scurry. I hate someone who feels so comfortable with whatever they have now, and someone who wants to wait to change at the last minute. So I want to say, Susa, change happens, and don't be afraid of change. Innovate and adapt quickly.
Okay, thank you. I had not seen this coming. I love this image. Who moved my cheese? Okay, so everyone can take the reference from here. Okay. So maybe we can get the original slide back on, if everyone has seen this, or you could take a picture of it if you want to keep it, yeah? Other advice, Marlon?
You might try to identify what it is that you have appreciated in this partnership. What is it that had made you formulate that there has been some kind of pressure, that what is it that has created that pressure? And how can you create habits that keeps it up, right? You were talking about you had quarterly meetings with follow-ups. You could do that yourself inside SUSA. Decide that you have quarterly meetings. You can define your own plans that you only report to yourself in those quarterly meetings. Or you can identify what else is it that this kind of institutionalized partnership has created that you need to keep moving, and then try to create it in your own way. And also to realize everything that you have learned, identify that, and just sort of write it down for yourself to remember that you need to keep doing it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a nice process to have in the team.
Yeah. You may try. I'm sorry to say it because saying is easier than actions. So you may try to hold what you have now and not with the coming years when BSU finishes. What has been built all these years comes back to where you were saying. So at least to hold it where is it and to keep it. If you cannot have a big, but at least do not decline. So keep it where is it, even if you cannot add anything on it.
Thank you, Suhair. Okay, could you pass the mic?
Okay, thank you, the team, for the wonderful case. You may try updating the partnership strategy or mapping and the grant management policy and keep applying other available grantees as a team, not as individuals. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My advice is to Susa is try to document successful practices and create clear frameworks so that it can be used by the future people who are going to come in to Susa.
Sorry, but I want to say this. Let me stand up. Susa, your capacity has been built for this number of years. Why was that effort put in? So that you stand on your feet. So don't cry. Stand on your feet and move.
Thank you for the very lovely presentation. One advice could be to all of you who has got a PhD to aim at getting a postdoc and then to reach out to the many good mentors you have met so they can kind of continue to help you in that process.
Thank you for that career advice as well. No, yes. Here you go.
Nick has been a bit harsh. Yes, but, well, it might be the truth. So you may try thinking of all the good things and listing them, but knowing that we all grow. So look at it positively, reflect on it positively. Just the way you had, you were in nursery at some point. Can you imagine if we loved nursery school and were still all there, so we wouldn't grow? So I think target on how do we grow from here. So you'll be doing things that DFC, you will be like the DFC. Okay? You will do the things that DFC has been able to do. The things, if you line them up, you'll realize you'll be able to mentor, give new product, have postgraduate students who you mentor who will do the same things you're doing. You'll be like the grandparent, and then your students who've come in will be like you. And maybe also create a network, continue to work together like an alumni of DFC. Yes, yes, because you share a lot. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So is that also, okay, Charles?
You know, Nick is my younger brother, although he looks older than me. What he said makes a lot of sense. And what I'm going to say is, you know, the last sentence there, how can we transition from a culture of compliance, reporting to a culture of commitment? That's what you should do. Stop worrying about what is past. Use the knowledge from the past to build the future. You are the very ones who have taught us. Build on each other, and you rise together. Thank you.
Together we rise. Exactly. Yes.
You might try. I'll wait. Yeah. You might try stepping into the shoes of becoming a role model for others. You have built capacity for many years, and the best way to continue to grow is to teach someone, to share that knowledge, because that forces you to keep growing. We know, we are all teachers here. We know you learn through teaching. You learn when you have to explain something to someone else. So, yeah, that's just a thought.
Yes, very good thought. Any last advice for Aziza and the SUSA team? Okay, yes.
Yeah, Aziza, I will also miss you. So it has been wonderful to work with you and SUSA for all these years. I was out for some years, and then I came back 1 year ago, and that was wonderful. To come back and see it. I think it may be the same when we, part, and then I think also this support from DFC is something that can for a long time, let you sleep a little too much. It is something that is too comfortable in a way. I think actually it may be sound for you, to be honest, to step out of it and then continue with the very sound things you have with Michael, for example, and others, where projects are very directed to something, scientific and so on. So I think we'll come back and just reach out, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they're still here. Did you have, and also, okay, I will return to you. So the last comment.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I just got to get up. We might try, I'm saying this purposefully, not just to SUSA, to keep our brothers and sisters at arm's length. We have all the niche built over years. We keep to grow them to maturity through together we build.
Okay, we'll have the last comment all the way in the back, so please help me again.
So my final point is to SUSA, try to create a succession plan so that BSU does not begin with you and end with the group within SUSA. So try to also pass what you learned from BSU to the other members of the university.
Okay.
I am from SUSA, but I have to share this to all of us. There is one common say, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Keep moving. Okay. Thank you for all the advice. And I think Aziza has been very brave. And it's always brave to share something that's professional, but also personal in a sense. And this definitely is. So let's give you a round of applause. And now, I just want to give you the microphone for a few minutes to catch up on the key points that you're taking away. You don't have to say all of it, but there's been a lot of comments and reflections and advice, and maybe some of it was stuck more to you than other parts.
Yeah, thank you very much for amazing and wonderful advice. So what I have taken from you is that the encouragement and changes happen, and it's a part of life. So we have to embrace it positively and move forward. That is one, but also, as we said, we have done a lot of good things during 15 years. So we need to document the best practices and make it guide on what goes on in future. Another thing is that, yeah, I like the idea of saying that I said that we are now in a position of, we want to stand on our own feet, but you know, this affection and the love and the need to have together to just seeing it fade away is painful, but yeah, we now can stand on our own feet. But as I said earlier, we would also like to continue, so we try our level best that we continue looking for more opportunities and look back for our partners so that we continue with this collaboration. But another thing that I have noticed, that because now we are matured enough, we have been in this partnership for almost 15 years, we have to be like junior DFC, so that when it comes to issue of coordination, reporting, accountability, we should be taking a flag that now we are looking for others, because we have been experiencing this for quite a long time, and yeah, and also, yeah, the advice is that we should hold what we have, because we have learned a lot, and we end up by saying that, and I like the sentiment that the Maseno, as a university who encourage us that they are here so that we are not alone, they are here to collaborate with us. So thank you so much for inviting us in, and we'll be looking for opportunity and to have twinning after BSU. Yeah, thank you so much. And to end, I would say, together we build.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you, everybody.
Can we stand up? We want to. The work has been done was so huge that needs to be appraised. So we have 333 clubs. So we do like this. This is 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Let's go. Yes? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please bring your chairs when you return to your table.
Guys, it's like a lottery with these microphones, really. What? Here? Here? There? All right. All right, guys. Okay, we just have a 2-minute bio break, and then we're going to come back for the last couple of things that we need to do before we close our annual meeting, okay? So If you need to go to the restroom, please do that now. now or forever hold your peace. That's not what you said. And then at the end of the evaluation exercise, we will just have the closing remarks, and I know the schools also have a little bit of something they want to give to everybody. Okay? So this is what we need to guys do. Can we please take phone calls outside, please? So, you know, I'm not entirely sure how long it will take. We're supposed to finish in 20 minutes. I know we won't finish in 20 minutes, but we will try to do it as soon after that as possible. Okay? Right. So, you know, we're going to start with your announcement and not the video. Okay? So we'll start with your announcement. And I know there's a slide that goes with this. Does someone in charge of the slides? You can do the microphone
Okay, so on behalf of the University of Hargeisa, we would like to extend an invitation to the BSU fraternity that we have here. We are inviting Gulu University, we are inviting Susa, we are inviting Maseno, we are inviting University of Rwanda, and of course BFC. You have to be there. So we are going to have the first International Research Conference, which will be on 17th to 18th of August, 2026. So we have time to be able to prepare. We are also inviting other Danish universities that are here. So we have not excluded. Yeah, you're also part of this. We're inviting you. So the theme will be transformative research for sustainable development, that is global innovations and local solutions. So we'll be having researchers, we'll be having practitioners, we'll be having policymakers coming. We're going to have meaningful dialogue, and also we'll be reflecting on solutions that respond to the pressing needs and challenges that we have actually in our context. Next slide, please. Okay, these are the thematic areas, and it is the last slide. So we have population health and social well-being, education, innovation, and human capital, sustainable development, economic transformation, climate action, environment and resilience, and lastly, governance, peace building, and international engagement. Welcome all. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonah and the Hargeisa team. This is quite exciting that as part of
Zanzibar tourism sector. So I have the option to learn much more about Zanzibar tomorrow afternoon. precise area. But besides, this is a cross-cutting initiative. We also have 3 postdoctors from Ulu University, and where are they sitting? It's Expedito. Somewhere. Okay. Expedito will talk about cross-cutting the cross-cutting. This is from environmental education, teaching practice in lower secondary schools in Uganda. Then we have Tabo somewhere. Yeah. And Tabo will talk about integrating inclusive innovation, expansive learning, a framework for green charcoal adoption and sustainable livelihoods. And Francis will talk about indigenous weather forecast practice by the Acholi in northern Uganda. So we have also 3 options to learn much more about Uganda and northern Uganda. And I think all 5 presentations will fit into some of the things on here. So that can be a first step to continue to the conference also. So we will circulate the precise. It's Susa here in Stocktown.
Yeah. Okay, so the faculty that's very close to here, isn't it? Okay, great. So you will circulate. That's another, already we are seeing some things, surprise, but I think you guys know what you're doing tomorrow afternoon after the spice. All right, are you ready to go to
I just have 2 announcements. You know that every year we invite you for research engagement training. And I think at least Ulo and Susa, I know a lot of you have already been on the training. And perhaps a few from the University of Hargeisa has participated as well. But we're going to do a new training in September. It's an online training over the course of a month with 4 online sessions. And it's quite good. And it's not compulsory. If you don't feel the need for it, you don't need to go. So really assess it in your team if there's like a key person whom this would be relevant for. I know there is the Hargeisa team already talked with you about it. So it's just to say it's coming up in September. Then we also have other exciting news that in January next year we're going to have our, what we used to call science engagement days, now we call it research engagement days, which is something we do every year where we focus on a cross-cutting research theme. Next year is going to be on AI and partnerships. So we're going to organize probably a 3 or 4 day seminar at CCBC. The details may change because nothing is set in stone yet. But it's probably going to be at the end of January next year. And we'll send out invitations when we're a bit further. But if you already know what is extremely interesting, then just make it hard. Okay?
All right, thank you, Julie. And I think also good to think about when you do the consolidation planning and potential, rebudgeting if there's any budget implications if you're going to this training as well. All right. I have a couple of things that I want to say about action points coming from here. And what I'll also do is next week when I'm back in office, I'll write them up in an email as well. But I did want to mention them before we leave each other. And then in case you have any questions, you can also just ask them now or of course later on. We did share the partnership TORs. I don't think we had much time to talk about them, but it would be really great to get any feedback that you have for it in writing. So just feel free to send that to us in the next couple of weeks. I will set a deadline with the email that I'm sending out. We have, talked about that I will make a template for the PhD plans with milestones and key kind of deliverables for the next 2 years to be used and follow up on, quite regularly so that we can, assess any delays as they happen and see if there are any needs for adjustment. So I will produce that next week when I get home as well and send that out to you. I also promised you, thank you, Jack, for a checklist on what are the things you need to be mindful of and deliver something on in terms of the revised general conditions. So I'll make that checklist and we'll share the annexes as well so that you have the full package as it is now, okay? We have promised to follow up on the administration of study days and figuring out exactly how this will go, and also about some of those expenses that are a little bit difficult to figure out exactly how to manage it, with North and South. So we will definitely do this for us. That requires a little bit of discussion within DFC, so I probably won't get back to you on that next week, but I think that should be okay. We will also, Tina and I will follow up on the narrative report, and Tina and I will follow up on the financial report. Tina is obviously the numbers wizard, and I will be looking at the dashboards as well, but that's something that from our to do as well, to give feedback to you on. If there are any meetings following up from the general conditions changes, then reach out with your questions, call me, ask for a meeting. I'm very happy to meet with you about it. As Judy said yesterday, or was it today, I don't remember, we will also follow up on some of the PhD issues, and that will be a continuous process, but also something consolidation plan, right? Some of these issues that really need to be looked at your end, that's not something. Then I've been discussing with a few of you that it would actually be really nice about the meeting dates for the next annual meeting, and I don't know what that sound is. A few of you also agreed to, and then I will just put it out here for now. It's all the first week of June, which is the 31st now. Then, or send me a message, weeks in for now. And I know in terms of, the annual deal we made, a while back, I think that, we actually did it. Because after exam starts, before you have a lot of teaching, so it's a good time, and we had that last week. And then what we would just ask is that you pencil them in, and then we will very soon settle on the dates. So what we are looking at in terms of location, I know a lot of you have come to me and said you actually would like to come to Denmark, and here to be costs and also visa issues. Okay, so there are some concerns that we would have to see, is this at all possible? And then the other option that we're looking at is TCDC. And the reason for that is that we would like to avoid that any of you had the burden, so to speak, of organizing it. And TCDC is easy for most to get to. Okay? So there are those two kind of places in play. Yeah, Charles?
Yeah, the dates May 24th, 28th would be difficult. Because we have an exam.
Okay.
Yeah, our exam starts on 15th of May and 10th of May. But June is okay.
All right, so with the 31st of May to the 4th of June, okay? All right, but I mean, it's not, I won't have to just go and look at the calendars, but maybe you can get back to me very soon if there are any troubles.
I just wanted to ask, is that you have to confirm now?
No, you don't have to confirm now. Wait, I would just like to put it out there and see if there are any immediate reactions. And then can you go back and consolidate your calendars and get back to me? Because I think in both cases, if we're looking at Denmark, for sure we need to have this settled soon. If we're looking at TCDC, I also need to probably book TCDC fairly soon. I mean, I'm not really sure about the availability. So of course, nothing can be quite certain before we know those things either. But it would be great to hear, yeah?
And the feeling back. I am asking whether a feeling back after.
The twinning part, I can host an annual meeting. I don't know. So there's quite a huge kind of coordination job in it. Maybe that's a conversation you can have with Kuno, and then get back to me if it's something you would really want to do, and we can consider it. I think about TCDC is it's easy to get to for everyone. They have really great facilities, and it would take the burden out of the projects and place it on TCDC and BC. In terms of Denmark, I think there are other good things because it would mean a very strong connection with the universities in Denmark and a possibility to go and visit some, and there are many things we could do there. But nothing is certain yet. But I think it's good to have your calendar, and you will let me know next week. Okay? So that one, go and check. All right? Okay, then I have any questions or comments to this? This was now I'm going to move over to logistics.
Well, I could make a comment to this.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea to make a burden for the Danish universities to be the organizer of a
Anyone wants to second that?
Overwhelmed past. Together to rise between the Danish universities. Yes,
I think some really good arguments as well for having it in Denmark. I will send out this in an email as well, and you can also feedback about the two options, and or you have your arguments for like the lady, you can send them to me. Okay? Sounds good? Yeah? Logistics, I do want to just say, Mashamba? Just logistics, because there are two different schedules of flights this evening. So do you have the timings of the departure for the airport?
Yeah.
Can you share them?
I think our departure has been postponed 1 hour.
Okay, but then it's more or less the same time as Jubilee and 21:20. And you have 21:20, no? Same flight. It's the same flight. So it's the same flight. So the suggestion is to leave at 6:30. No? Okay. Anyway, you guys, Mashamba, please confirm the time with